Hey guys, Max2015 here, bringing you guys back another late night episode of Boom Beach Push into the leaderboards. I'm at 1497 victory points. Did I just? Yeah, I just lost it. I was at 1498, I swear, a second ago. I was just clearing my map and I wanted to share some of these replays with you before I lose them. So let's just get straight into them. The first base here is going to be Zakek, who's the global number 4 or 5 or 6, something like that. He's really up there with 2,005 victory points. 6 ice statues, 5 of them boosted. This is the second time I'm beating him in 2 days because, after I got into the global top 50, everyone that's on the leaderboard is spawning on my map now. So, things are getting pretty real. But anyways, I was able to get this base down. Again, he didn't make minor alterations compared to the first time. Being this boom cannon here, he didn't move it a little bit more inland or a little bit more to the left. It was much further out, closer to that where that radar is. But anyways, put down all the troops. I did take out the one shot launcher in the front first, and then let my tanks take down the boom cannon out there in the front, and then just let them eat the base slowly. I did have to shock the boom cannon and the shot launcher because that thing was just stopping all of my troops. And then I think once the tanks take out the shot launcher and the sniper tower right there, we flare, we drop a few smokes, try to save my tanks. I did have a lot of tanks left though. I don't think I lost many until I got towards the end of it. Now one thing that I do like a lot about his layout is right there where I flare first. You see where I dropped those critters? Those critters are right in the blind spot of that rocket launcher, so only the cannon and the boom cannons are shooting at them, and you see how long that one pack of critters actually will last. Look at them. There's still a lot of them. There's still 6 critters actually, and look at the boom cannons, completely distracted. My tanks are just eating away at all the economy buildings in there. The boom cannon finally turned, but that's when I start, the shock party. So shock the boom cannons and the flamethrower and the mortar, let my tanks move in, and then drop the second shot right there, just as the first one was wearing out. I flared straight to that one boom cannon in there, and that was the last cannon I had to deal with because this one here was still out of range. So right there we flared to a safe spot, and from there on it was just let the tanks go to town. I did have 2 mortars and the 1 rocket launcher still shooting at my troops, so they do cause a lot of damage over time, but fortunately my tanks were boosted, and I have I could drop 2 medkits, which really helped. We can go 4 times the speed because there was much more to see here. I also had a lot of time. I got to this spot with about 1:40 left, which is just about enough time for your tanks to wear down the shield and then take down the HQ itself. So very pleased with the attack. 6 ice statues is always a lot. I still haven't been able to figure out how to take down 7 ice statues, but 6 I can still do somehow. So that was Zakek's base. I'm sorry, Zakek, if you're watching, but we're fighting for victory points nowadays, so we just have to do it. So second base was Tia Chop 5. Tia Chop with a relatively low 1197 victory points. I switched to Heavy Zuka here because I didn't think a TRM was going to work for this base, mainly because of that shock blaster. This was a relatively easy base. I mean, he is pretty low on victory points. I don't know why I got paired up with him, but anyhow, he only had 3 ice statues. Only the masterpiece is boosted, so not a problem at all for my troops. I did put down all my heavies and all my Zukas the usual way. Let them take out a few of the buildings in the front before flaring them to the back right next to that machine gun. I did get hit by that shock blaster, but no big deal. You just have to let your troops keep on moving. A lot of mines. Luckily, I didn't lose any Zukas. I think I only lost like 2 Zukas on my way up there. But most of them were red, so I had to throw a medkit towards the end there. So there goes the last smoke. You'll see a medkit and then a reflare, I think. Yeah, right there. There's the medkit. Oops. A little late on the reflare. And then as the smoke was wearing out, flare to the rocket launcher, drop some critters and a shock, and then just let the troops clear up the bases. Right there. Yeah, I had a pretty good number of heavies. I had to keep the boom cannons and shock blasters shocked. There goes more critters. The critters are mainly to distract the shot launchers, and you can see how the shot launchers are actually shooting their little shot bombs onto the critters and not on my Zukas. Then I had to start shocking them, and at the end there I was just like, screw this, flare straight to the HQ. And honestly, this base really wasn't hard because it didn't have a lot of ice. So, and the shield generator was so close to the HQ that it really wasn't a big deal. So I was lucky enough to take him down in one try. I did lose a good number of troops though, but that's how things goes nowadays anyways. On every raid you lose a lot of troops. So that was Tia Chop 5's base. The next base, Sahab, 1300 victory points. Again, heavy Zuka. This base, this attack I really enjoyed because I basically overpowered the shield with heavy Zuka, and I really enjoyed it. So 2 barrages, 3 artilleries to take down the one-shot launcher. I did fail a couple of times against this base. I tried to smoke my way up to the shield, but that was just a waste of gunboat energy. So this time I decided to just work down the shield itself. He did have 5 ice statues, all 5 of them boosted, which is quite a lot. So let them take down the sniper tower and then flare them behind that rocket launcher there. And notice where I placed the flare. I did that. It was a deliberate attempt to park all my troops on the blind spot of that rocket launcher because I didn't want that one launcher to be shooting at me when the smoke clears up. There's still 2 more rocket launchers that were definitely going to be, rain those rockets on us. So there goes the reflare, and then flare straight to the boom cannon, critters, and a shock on the mortar because the mortar could have killed all of my troops also. Things looked a little messy for a moment there, but you just have to kind of let your troops do their thing. Once the heavies finally start spreading out, then things get a little bit better. And you can see how I had a ton of Zukas. I don't think I lost any Zukas at this point. Once they took down the shock blaster and I think the boom cannon in the top. Oh no, just the shock blaster. I flare straight to the HQ. And look, I had all my Zukas just blasting that shield. It's coming down so quickly, even though it's boosted with 5 ice statues. I wasn't too confident, but my heavies lasted long enough. I did lose all of my heavies, and you'll see I'm going to start dropping Zukas like flies right there. So, I don't think my troops would have lasted an extra 2 or 3 seconds in there. So, right in the nick of time, I was able to beat that phase. So I was very happy. This was a pretty tough base, very unconventional layout, so it kind of throws you off when it's a layout that you're not familiar with. But, I really enjoyed that one. That was Sahab's base. After that, we get to this guy. I can't read his name for the life of me, but I switched to CRCM, 3 bolts of rifles, 3 bolts of Zukas, 1 Cranier, 1 medic. Lucky I got a crystal out of it, which is pretty sweet. By the way, all these attacks I did with 4 offensive statues, all 4 of them boosted, of course. This base has 7 ice statues, but only the building health masterpiece was boosted. But that's not to say this is going to be easy. It was a center base with a 1 shield, and it did have a laser beam, which is my worst enemy. I personally hate the laser beam. It gives me the most trouble out of all the prototype defenses. But anyways, put down all the troops and then smoke them carefully. Reverse smoke at the end. So I dumped a lot of gunboat energy on that one-shot launcher on the far left there. So the reverse smoke at the end, that's just to protect the medics who are trailing behind. Drop some critters and a shock. My main priority here was to keep the laser beam shocked. What also helped me a lot, though, I have to admit, is that he didn't boost his defensive building damage. So that's why my rifles were able to survive the shooting from the mortars and the 2 rocket launchers. Otherwise, I don't think I could have done it. But see how many troops I have. I have a million Zukas just blasting down all of these defenses. I had to keep on throwing all my shocks onto that the laser beam because even though the building damage wasn't boosted, one ray from the laser beam would still kill all of my Zukas. So I had to make sure that thing was shocked at all times. Towards the end there, I had to start focusing my shocks on the mortars because they were killing my rifles by the millions. And if you notice, at this point, it doesn't seem like I was going to win the raid. It didn't look like I had a lot of Zukas, but these Zukas here, they were completely, unobstructed, so they were shooting freely at the HQ. Look at this point, there's still half a shield left, so I don't know really how I managed to beat this. I think it's because the rocket launcher that was left in there got fixated on my medics who are standing right behind those statues, so that's why my rifles were able to just, distract the cannons and the mortars while the Zukas were still able to shoot freely in there. So I did lose a lot of troops though, again, but, as long as the base goes down, I'm a really happy guy, so it didn't matter there. So that was 7 ice statues, quite a lot of boost, and I just don't like laser beams. I hate them. Alright, so that was whatever this guy's name is. Next base, Also CRZM, this was also a tough base. It was a 5 eye statues, all 5 of them boosted, double shielded base. So I dumped one barrage, 3 artilleries in the rocket launcher, and 2 barrages, 2 artilleries on the shot launcher just to get them out of the way. I did put 2 bolts of rifles first, right there, and then all the Zukas, rifles, and Cryoneers. I reserved 1 bolt of rifles to deploy a little bit later, just because when you're landing them on the shore like that, you're bound to lose a lot of rifles to the splash damage. So I wanted to save as many as possible. Right there, I was lucky. There goes the last bolt of rifles. I was lucky to shock the flamethrower, shock launcher, and rocket launcher all with 1 shock. So all the things that cause a lot of splash damage, I was able to shock with 1 shot. So I was very happy about that. It's also a good thing to have 3 bolts of Zukas because they just do so much more damage compared to 2 bolts. At this point, look how many my troops are running just so thin. It did not look like I was going to win this raid either. I wasn't too sure, so I just kind of flare up there, and I had that shock on the mortars and the rocket launcher there. So once they spread out, I didn't have gunboat energy for anything. I was just kind of waiting to die, pretty much. I swear, I really didn't think I was going to beat it. But I was thinking, you know what, if the Zukas are able to take down that 1 mortar right there in the top. Oh, I lost so many Zukas there. That mortar, yeah, right there, the mortar that just died. Then I was thinking, oh, okay, we can flare to the wall and then maybe try to regroup and think and try to figure something out, maybe a little miracle or something. So as my troops were starting to take care of the economy buildings, I was gathering more and more gunboat energy, and I was thinking, oh, if I can get enough gunboat energy for 1 more shock, then I should be able to beat it, hopefully. So, and that's exactly what happened. I got enough for 1, not just 1, but 2 shocks actually, and you'll see them. So that boom cannon turn, I was trying to hold the shocks as long as possible. So right there, you'll see it. There goes the shock on the 2 boom cannons and the 2 mortars there. I needed my Zukas to, oh, text from Lord Carnage. There goes the boom cannon, 1 more shock, and then flare straight to the cannon. And the idea was to go for the cannon in the middle, because once they take that down, they're going to fan out and go for the mortars, and that's exactly what they did. So the boom cannon goes down, they go for the mortar, but the second mortar below here was too far out of reach from the Zuka. So all I had to do was just flare backwards, and I knew the medics were going to stay where they were, so the mortar was going to stay there and get locked onto the rifles, while my Zukas were going to be able to shoot freely at the HQ. So, you know what, I did get a little bit lucky in this raid, even though I didn't make the right decision at the right time, but, I have to admit, I think I got a little bit lucky there. But anyways, got the base down, 5 eye statues, all 5 of them boosted, but look, that HQ went down so nicely. I was super happy about that 1 attack, super happy. Alright, so moving along, Tinwon 222 space. This name I can read. It stands for the King of Heavens, sort of. I don't know what the 222 means, but anyways, I switched back to TRM. This was a corner base with laser beam, my worst enemy, and he did have 4 eye statues, all 4 of them boosted. But the good thing about this base, I tried to take out the 1 boom cannon that was the farthest, and I tried to weaken out the shot launcher in the back there. But the good thing about this particular layout that worked for me with TRM is that these 2 boom cannons were placed so far up on the base that I didn't really have to deal with them because they were going to be out of range. So that helped me a lot. Of course, the rifles were taking all the heat from the little cannons and the boom cannons. I did drop some critters right at the blind spot of that rocket launcher again to distract the cannons and the boom cannons, which they did really nicely. That bought me a lot of extra time. I had to reflare because some of my tanks were starting to go within the range of those boom cannons there. I threw 2 artilleries to finish off the shot launcher by the HQ there, and then I started shocking the cannons and the shot launchers. At this point, I wasn't too sure what to do because after that 1 shot, I don't think I had any more gunboat energy. So I was just kind of hoping that the sheer amount of numbers of tanks were gonna get the job done. So, I got enough gunboat for a pack of critters. And then I flashed straight to the last boom cannon. So, come on, just take down that boom cannon. And after that, there were mortars and a few splash damage defenses, but nothing too concerning for tanks. The main issues were the rocket launchers, because the rocket launchers plus the laser beam, they actually do a lot of damage over time. So That was very, very dangerous. So fled into a corner where they would be somewhat safe from most defenses. Threw a medkit, and we can go 4 times the speed here. So the laser beam and the rocket launcher kept on shooting at me. I did lose like 3 more tanks subsequently in there, but you can see I had a lot of time. I parked the tanks down there with about, what, like 2 minutes left, which was a lot of time. And then they were able to, you know, just finish up, blast down the shield itself, and then finish off the HQ. So I was really happy about that too. And that kind of brought me up to, what was it, 1,498 victory points. I just dropped. Let me take a quick look at this page, just out of curiosity. What's that look? Ooh, really? Oh, this is a really easy base. Oh man, this base just grieving RZM. Yeah, maybe I'll take him now. I mean, not in the video. This video is pretty long already, so I'm just gonna cut it short. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the videos, guys. Tonight was actually a pretty good raid. Not a lot of losses. Well, there were a few fails, but you know, overall, that's just how it is nowadays. I always lose a lot now. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the attacks. I really enjoyed, you know, doing them. And I was really excited to share them with you guys because I thought some of those were actually pretty good. And these bases are actually pretty beefy, you know. They all have 5 minutes. The one that had the least ice had 4 ice statues, and then it was 5, 6, 7 ice. So, you know, it's pretty crazy up there. And I was happy because I managed to take them all down with only 4 offensive statues, which is also, you know, I mean, in my opinion, that's pretty cool. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and let me know in the comment down below what do you guys think and what you guys would like to see next. Okay, guys? Till the next time then, I'm X115. I'll see you guys in the next push. Bye.